Today we're going to be continuing on our map remake series. We're going to be remaking this map by user Abraham Zachariah. This is a city called Shariz, which I think is a really nice city. I like the way that it's overall built. Hey, Room Bear Maps. Awesome. Glad that you're here. We're going to be remaking this map. So basically, it's going to go from the original map here to this one right here. And we're going to be basically remaking the map with the newly kind of released classical empires packs that are in the fantasy regional style. I enjoy that art so much. So we're definitely going to be remaking it. I'll go ahead and show the original again so you can kind of see the difference. This art is kind of old in comparison to the newer art. So I'm really looking forward to that. Let's also talk about let's also talk about what the syllabus will be, how I'll start it out. As always, first we're going to make the terrain. And the terrain is basically going to be those dunes, the sand, and all that stuff. You always want to have, you always build from the ground up. So that will be step one. Step two will actually build the walls itself, and I'll show you a cool trick on how to put walls on separate layers so that way you can always have the buildings in front of the back walls, but always behind the walls in the front. So I'll show you that cool trick. We'll also, then after that, we'll make the centerpiece. The centerpiece is this garden right here and this palace right here. We'll make the centerpiece, and then after building the centerpiece, we will make all the various districts that exist building around that centerpiece there. And then finally, we'll add these locations that are located outside of the city itself, like this temple up here, this East Mill, and then this trading post right here. And what I've done off screen, just so you know some changes that I've made, I went ahead and made a labels layer right here. So that way everything is labeled. And these are the original labels that the original creator user made. So basically, I just went ahead and created my own layer of labels so that the text is separate, and that way I'll always have an idea of what it is that I'm making, where everything is at. We're remaking Abraham Zachariah's map, Shariz, which I think is really cool. If you haven't seen it, here's the original, and then this is what we're going to be aiming for here. So pretty cool stuff what we're going to be doing. I'll go ahead and remove the remake. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'm going to go ahead and hide the labels. And I'm going to open up the original here. And I'm going to use this as a guide. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and turn the opacity down on this map. I'm going to do this for a reason, so that way I can still see stamps. All right, so we'll do that first. Let's go ahead and turn off that. And then we'll go ahead and choose a texture for the ground. I think we'll use either this desert right here, which is classical empires. So we'll try to use the same textures. So we'll go ahead and press fill. Notice that there are two brush layers. We're going to go on the water brush layer. I'm just going to go ahead and just fill it. There's our first one. We can add sand dunes and stuff later, but let's just first add our ground up. There we go. Now that we have done that. Okay, so next I'm going to make a couple layers here real quick. So I noticed that I have a layer called districts. That's going to be the middle layer. I'm going to create add new layer right here and go objects. And we're going to call this back wall. And then I'm going to create another layer, object layer. And we're going to call it front wall. And I'm going to go ahead and put the front wall below the district. So that way there's this order here. You have the front walls. Then you're going to have the districts that are going to be in between the two walls, the back wall and the front wall. So this way, again, you'll always make sure that all the buildings are staying within the walls without having to do all this crazy groups and all this stuff. You won't have to do all that with this technique. So I'll go back to the original map real quick. There we go. And I'll go ahead and bring the opacity up just a little bit more. So that way I can kind of see it better. There we go. That looks good. All right. And remember we mentioned we'll build the terrain first. So I think what I'll do is I'll just choose some dunes. Here we go. I'm going to make sure it's set to the right layer here. Why don't we build another layer, object layer, and we'll call it terrain. And that layer should be below all of those because you always build from the ground up. So we have this terrain here. That's good. And I'll go ahead and start placing some dunes down. So I don't have to follow the dunes exactly as the original map, so it's always nice to kind of change it up a little bit. So I'm just going to add a couple dunes like this. There's also some other ones, these ones as well. I like these ones. Let's go ahead and add these. Again, it doesn't have to be the exact one. I'm just going to go ahead and place some dunes. Place a couple here, here. In fact, I kind of like the longer ones. Those are good. They kind of show. And the way that I usually place these is there's a kind of a trick that I have when placing dunes, and that is lining up the ridge. When you're placing these dunes, you're going to line up the ridge. And the way that I do that is simple. I create this line right here like this, and then you can see that these ridges right here, I'll go up a layer so you can see it, bring the size down. And what I'm doing is I'm lining up the ridges of my dunes together. So there's this continuity between each dune. So they're not like free floating in the middle of nowhere, right? So just adding a couple here and there, trying to connect the line work a little bit. That's a good one. This one kind of connects here. We'll put another one there. Let's go ahead and delete these ones. This looks good. I think that kind of creates some continuity there. Same thing with this one. This larger one. Let's put a larger one right here, like that. I think I'm going to put a location right there, so I'll move that out of the way. And then I can always add more later as need be. And I'll quickly turn off the original real quick. And then what I'll do is I'm going to select all of those stamps. I'm going to go to blend mode and change them to luminosity. And luminosity will get the dunes to be the same color or texture that's beneath it. So you notice that the dunes now kind of match a little bit better with the texture underneath of it, right? So that works well. So next we'll go to, I'm going to go ahead and use districts, and I'm going to create the wall in this layer and then move them separately to different layers. So what I'll do is I'll start in districts. I'm going to choose some walls. I'm going to go to wall, and there should be this wall right here from Classical Empire's core. We'll go back to the original so that I can see what I'm doing. And then I'll go ahead and start changing the scale to fit around the right scale here. And let's start with going this way first, and then I'll place a tower on each one like this. And then here's a cool little trick. What I do is I'll just copy and paste these like this, copy, paste. And then I'll copy and paste this one and place it right here like this. Go back into the catalog, look for the right angled piece right here, like this, line it up properly, like this. And then I can go in and copy and paste those two like this, and just copy, paste. So you're quickly kind of putting your walls together. There we go. And I'm going to make sure to line them up properly. Notice that there's these gold, kind of this trim at the bottom here. Make sure you kind of line those up properly. And then I can go in and create the right pieces here. Copy, paste this piece. Like that. Bring it down. Copy, paste. I can do it again. Let's do these two. Copy, paste. So you see kind of the strategy here is that you're just copying and pasting a bunch of pieces to get it together, because there is no line or shape tool for fantasy regional type of walls. So you have to kind of do it this way. All right, let's go ahead and kind of create the next piece. Line that up. And then remember the trick, after you've got the pieces you need, copy, paste, and just kind of piece them together. Let's go ahead and copy and paste this one. And it's okay if the walls don't follow. I'm not following it exactly perfectly. Notice that I'm kind of off a little bit here from the original. That's okay. I just want to follow the walls fairly well. I don't want to follow it exactly. It's okay if it's off a little bit. All right, I can go ahead and copy and paste these ones. And you see the pieces that are already available, I can go ahead and use those. So I can go ahead and copy and paste this one. Copy, paste. So you're kind of seeing the trick on how to get it to work. Copy, paste. Same thing, I'll do it again here. Copy, paste. Hey, Typher0, glad that you're here. Awesome. Okay. And then this one here, what I think I'll do is I'll do something a little bit differently here. There are these half pieces. I think I'll use these, like this one right here looks good. I'll place one right there like that, and then another one facing, let me see if it's facing, I can flip it. Let's do this. Flip. There we go. Okay. Piece these together. Piece these together. There we go. Looks good. and then I'll copy and paste. The walls will probably be the most time consuming because you're doing all the lining them up properly and then putting them all together. So it is really quite time consuming to put that together. But it's not too bad when you have that copy and paste method. There we go. So you notice I'm able to put all these pieces together and then just use the same thing I did here. Copy, paste. Oopsie, let's do this one. Copy, paste. I can do it again. There we go. That looks good. So you're kind of getting the idea on how to put it together. I'm almost there. Just got to do this other side right here. So we'll copy paste that. Pretty fun to put this together. We're going to copy paste another one. Oops, not that one. This one right here, copy paste. Let's use this one right here. Copy paste, and I'll probably move these a little bit also this way. So I'll move it a little bit this way just to fit in because the walls are a little bit bigger, and that's okay. So we'll fit that in. I think right about there looks good. That should be enough room. There we go. That looks good. Okay, let's keep going. Copy paste. I think what I will do is I'll use those shorter pieces right here. In fact, you know what? I think we're actually okay. Let's go ahead and undo that. We'll copy and paste these. There we go. And then I can just kind of move them a little bit more and then resize them to fit. I want to make sure there's enough room for everything. So let's resize. I think about there looks good. Let's resize it a little bit more just to get the scale right. Okay, that looks good. All right, cool. Looking good so far. Copying and pasting all these pieces. There we go. Oopsie top. There we go. I want to get the tower in. When you're copying and pasting, make sure you get those towers in. Copy, paste. There we go. That looks good. This one is next. Copy, paste. And you see this only took about 10 minutes or so. Doesn't take too long to put the walls together. And this is the tricky part right here, is trying to get these to kind of fit together right. So I'll make sure. I'll go ahead and probably just go back a layer like that. There we go. Okay, and I think overall the wall is set up. That looks good. Let me just maneuver it a little bit more this way. That looks good. And then I'll change the dunes in just a moment. Let's just get this set up right. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that looks good. All right. Okay, now let's talk about how to make the walls on separate layers. You notice I have the back wall and the front wall. So what I'll do with the back wall is I'm going to select all the stamps that are right here like this. And I'm going to create group. I'm going to call this back wall. Create. Then I'm going to select that group and then move to layer back wall. Now I can go to the front wall pieces right here. Create group. Front wall. Select this. Select this one right here. This wall right here. Move to layer front wall. There we go. Oops, did I miss a wall piece? I might have. Let's go ahead and see if I missed a piece. No, but that one is front wall. Oopsie, my bad. Front wall needs to go up to the top and back wall needs to be at the bottom. There we go. My mistake. There we go. Okay, front wall, or this needs to be renamed. Let me just double check. Okay, this should be the back wall. Nope, front wall. Okay, there we go. Front and back walls. Okay, cool. That's set up. What type of walls am I using? That's a great question. I am actually using, in the classical empires, it's called just walls. Classical empires core, just called walls. There's a bunch of different walls here, but just plain walls. And if you don't know which one it is, just go to show names right here, and it will show you which walls. Cool. There we go. All right. So now we have the walls set up. Now watch what happens. I'm going to go with districts here, and I'm going to go ahead and just pick a random stamp here. Now see what happens when I place this stamp. It's going to always be in front of these walls right here, but always behind these walls right here. So this is like the neat little trick that you can use to make sure that your walls work properly, right? Because what happens is you have to do all this tricky grouping, and you don't want to do all that. All you have to do is just put the back walls and the front walls on separate layers, and then there you have it. So that's pretty easy to set up. So now that those wall parts are done, we should probably build our gate and our other things like that. So let's go to our front wall. I'm going to open it up. We'll go ahead and choose a gate. We'll go ahead and use this one right here, this gate. And I'll go ahead and scale it down to make sure that it fits properly. Let's go about there. Looks good. There's a gate. That looks good. And I'm only going to do one gate. For mine, I'm not going to put like a ton of gates. I'm just going to put like just one. I think that should be plenty. So that looks good. Let's go back to terrain real quick, and I'll go ahead and just move some of these stamps out of the way just to make sure that everything's set up right. Put some dunes there. That looks good. That looks good. Let's go move that and move that. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn off. Let's go ahead and I think that's it for walls. Why don't we do the centerpiece next? We could also just paint in. We could also just do some painting for the terrain a little bit. Let's do that. Let's get rid of the original here. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this desert right here. Texture scale. I'm going to bring the scale up a little bit. I'm just going to paint a little bit of this. Let's go ahead and maybe bump the saturation up a little bit. There we go. And then let's go ahead and paint this kind of dunes right here like this. This looks good just to separate it from the texture that we're going to use on the inside. There we go. That looks good. That's separate. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's go ahead and create that centerpiece part. And what I'll do is I'll actually take pieces from my front wall to make it, which will be helpful. So I'll just go ahead and copy, go back to districts, copy and paste this here, and then I'll start making that inner garden that was there, just so you can see what that is. I'm making this piece right here. This piece right here, right in front of me. I'm going to make that garden. And I'm going to use the same walls to make that walled garden. So I'm going to make it into a octagon. So let's go ahead and put those pieces together to put that together, to make that. So I'll put this together, copy, paste. And then we'll make that. This shouldn't take too long. There we go. And then I can go ahead and just kind of take these pieces, copy and paste them together. Oh, I see that this isn't put together. That one isn't either. That one. Okay, looks good. Let's go ahead and copy paste. Let's go ahead and copy paste this as well. Oopsie. I did not get that one. Copy paste. There we go. And then finally, we will do this one as well. Copy paste. Okay. Doesn't look like it was set up right, so we'll have to set it up. Let's get this to work right. There we go. There we go. That looks set up right. Okay, cool. Oop, this is off by a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and create group. We're going to call this the garden. There we go. And I'm going to line up this to line up with this one right here like this. In fact, you know what? Let's move the gate on the front wall. Let's move the gate over to here. Let me just see what's a little bit more central here. Back to districts. Yeah, right about there is somewhat central. And what I'll do is I'll set up to where the door isn't off a little bit there. Notice how the door is kind of weird. So let's go ahead and fix that. I'll go ahead and delete these right here. And I'll go ahead and set up to where the door... Let's go ahead and set this up right. What about there? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's also use maybe this piece right here. Let's go ahead and flip. There we go. That looks good. And then I'll put the door just right here like this. And then I'll go ahead and create the gatehouse. There we go. That looks good. Okay. And then I'll create group, create. There we go. That's set up. Okay. And then I can go ahead and just line these up properly just to get that gatehouse set up. Where are we at for time? Sweet. 22 minutes just to make the wall. Get those walls. It's a lot of work. Okay, I want to line that up properly. I think that looks about right there. So let's go ahead and add in those other pieces. Let's see here. There's the short piece, goes right there. like that. And then we'll flip this and flip this one this way. Actually, in fact, we could use a longer one like this. That should fit. There we go. That looks better. Go back one. There we go. Okay. All right. Now that that gate is there, that looks good. Let's also do the same thing. Put a gate right here like this. Just like that on top of that one. That looks good. You can't use the line tool with fantasy regional walls. That's why. Otherwise, I would love to do that. I'm sure everybody would love to do that. But we don't have the capability to do that quite yet. And it is quite a challenge to try to find a way to do that, just to let you know. I would personally love to have a line tool for the walls. If you guys got genius ideas on how to do that, let me know. I would love that. That would be awesome. All right. Okay. I think this looks good. Okay. We've done... Now that's the centerpiece. That's supposed to be a garden there. Let me go back to the original so I can take a look and see how it's set up. It looks like there's a centerpiece with some greenery around it. And then there's also a Sultan's Palace that also exists. So why don't we create that Sultan's Palace that's supposed to be attached to that. So let's go do that. I think what I'll do is I'll use these platforms. Go to Classical Empires. And it's called it's called the Sultan's Palace. So because it's attached to the walls, why don't we put the palace on a platform of some kind, so that way it's raised above. I think that might be a good idea. So we'll go ahead and kind of put together this. Let's go ahead and put another one. This one right here should look good. Let's see, how close are we here with this wall? Why don't we move this thing a little bit more like that? There we go. A little bit more centered. And then I'll also use this same piece right here. Bring the scale down. Put that together. This one right here like that. Put that together. Okay. That looks a little too big, so we'll go ahead and change that. Wait a minute. Why is this so dark? Interesting. Go ahead and bring the brightness down. There we go. Did I flip these? I might have flipped them facing the wrong way. All right. There we go. All right. So now we have that platform there. And since that platform is there, we can also choose a building to go on top as the palace. Let's kind of choose one of these ones. It's already got the right size, the kind of look that I want. So let's go with this. This will be like the palace. And it will just go right on top, just like that. There we go. Now you have a nice palace. That looks good. Why don't we also create that centerpiece? It could be a fountain. Why don't we move this out of the way real quick and we'll see what they have here. I see there's a fountain in here. There's a couple obelisks. Why don't we change the look of this a little bit? I think I want to do something different in the center than what is already here. So let's go ahead and line these up a little bit. I want to make sure this is lined up properly. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Let's move this a little bit more this way. Okay, there we go. That looks better. All right, let's create that centerpiece. We'll use this same thing right here. That looks good. And then I'll put some pillars. Classical Empires packs are fabulous. Definitely use them. Let's go put some pillars down. Right here like this. Why don't we also put like a door? And then we'll also put maybe a dome on top of it as well. Go up a couple layers, place that dome there. I think I'll also resize it to be like that a little bit more. There we go. That looks good. And then now we have this nice central dome piece in the center. That looks good. And what I'll do is I'll make this centerpiece and I'll finish it from beginning to end. I'll add in all the greenery, all the stuff, and then that way we have like a blueprint on what kind of textures to use, what kind of greenery we're going to use. So if I just finish this one centerpiece with details and all, then I can set a standard for all the other locations. And this stream might be a part 2, because any city map is just always very, very time consuming no matter what. It's just something that I've kind of noticed. So let's let's put in some grass. Let's go ahead and turn off the original. I'm just going to paint this whole thing with grass right here, just for now. And then what I should do is establish a texture to represent the road. So I'll go ahead and pick that. And I think I'll pick this pavement classical. Let's change the scale. I'm going to bring the opacity down a little bit as well. I always bring the opacity down. There we go. About 47 sounds good. And then I'll just go ahead and paint. First, I'll paint all along the road, all along the ground itself, where the base of the stamps are. So I'll go ahead and paint a little bit like this at the base of the stamps. That will be step 1. Looks good. And then I'll create a road like this. One that goes this way as well. One like this. And I'll go ahead and fix that in just a moment. There we go. And then that gate is off a little bit, so I'll fix that. So I'll go ahead and move the gate to be right about there instead. Bring this down a layer. That looks good. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the same thing I did right here. I'm going to go ahead and use this same thing on the front wall. I'm going to use this so that way it works out. Copy, paste. Yes, I do play D&D. I DM when I can. I have more time to make maps than I do to DM, and that's just because you know how players are. When you're trying to get multiple people together to do something, everyone's schedule's got to be free, and you know how that goes. That can be challenging, to say the least. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to districts, open up the garden. I'm going to go ahead and place this here. This looks good. Let's go ahead and bring the scale down a little bit. Scale down a little bit this one. One more down this way. There we go. This looks good. And then I think I will copy and paste. Actually, no, that won't work. Let's see if I can push this behind it. There we go. Kind of. Push another layer here. Okay, that will work. That will work fine. Copy, paste, put the gate there. There we go. Okay. All right, we have a gate there. That looks good. I also noticed that there is also some purple or some pink. So why don't we go ahead and add in that. Open up that group again. Let's go to tree. I don't mind using some older stamps. So let's go ahead and place these in the center to make it kind of like a square. That looks good. All right, I like that purple too. Purple goes well, or that pinkish color goes well with that green. So that looks good. Okay. And then we can also, if we want, we can build out the road that goes, the path that goes around. Like this. This looks good. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more curvature here. There we go. That looks good. Okay. And then I think what I'll do is I'll line with bushes as well. Let's use, why don't we use these dry bush here? This looks good. Why don't we put one in each corner? Like one right here, 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 here. If that'll work right there. Let's try going back another layer. What about there? Yeah, it needs to go back a couple layers. That looks good. Another one right here. Let's go back. Put some here, here. Why don't we line this thing right here with a couple of them? There we go. That looks good. Okay. I want to make sure. Let's not do 3. Let's do 2 instead. There we go. That should look better. Line that up. Get rid of that third one. There we go. I'm just trying to line these all up properly. That looks good. Okay, got some bushes there. That looks good. All right, I think overall this looks quite nice. I like this. I'm not going to throw any fountain. I kind of like the symmetry of the centerpiece and then the asymmetry of this palace right here. So I kind of like that. So I think what I'll do is I won't do any more asymmetry in this centerpiece because this part of the centerpiece is symmetrical while this part is asymmetrical. And when you're putting together a structure like this, asymmetry contrasting with symmetrical and asymmetrical elements really pops out. So it's really important to kind of remember that. And then what I might want to do is maybe put what's called a batter. Let me take a look real quick here. Type in classical. Where are we at for time? Things will go a lot faster after we finish the centerpiece and the walls. Go back to classical. I think there is a aqueduct right here, and there are these nice pieces right here. I'm going to use these right here to kind of create this, what's called a batter. Let's make sure I got the right layer. There we go, right about there. Let's scale it. There we go, fit. I'm going to copy and paste this. Put one there. And then I'm also just going to hide some of the lines. So I'll go ahead and place one there. Right here like this. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. That looks good. Do I think the right side is too big? No, I think it's okay. Let me check the stamp scale. 60. This is set to 60. Yeah. Well, the thing with this city is that I'm trying to stick to as much to the original as possible. So I've noticed that these buildings, it's not a massive city. It's more of a pretty small city when you look at all the buildings. We'll try to cram as many in here as possible. But when I do put down the stamps, I do want the palace to be a little bit bigger. As long as I stay within around the 60% scale, then it should be okay. Otherwise, once you start getting drastic differentials between stamps, especially building stamps, like structures, because you can see that the windows and the doors on some stamps are contrasting with each other. Some are too big, some are too small. We won't know for sure if the right side is too big or not until we start placing down the other structures for some kind of reference, right? So let's go ahead and call this one good. And then if I go back to the original here, we'll take a look at this. Oopsie, the original, there we go. So from here, what we should do is we'll start building some of, what I think I'll do is I'll start at the center right here like this, and then move our way clockwise around. We'll find out in a moment if it's too big or too small. Let me go ahead and make sure that I screwed up a little bit and didn't line these up. I'll have to retexture. My mistake there. Let's go ahead and realign these. That looks good. Turn off the original. Oops, it happens. Not a big problem. I'll go ahead and just repaint it. There we go. Oops, we'll go to 100% here just to paint it over, and I'll just have to do that all over again. No big deal. Okay, I'll just go with 100% opacity here, just to speed up the time. There we go. Create that step there. Create that one there. I'm using a pen, but it is quite hard to do straight lines with a mouse, I've kind of noticed. Okay, oopsie, I didn't paint in the grass first, but that's okay, because I can go ahead and do it anyway, just like this, just paint in that grass. In fact, I don't mind if there's a little bit of brown kind of underneath of it. Just a little bit. That's fine. We'll go ahead and paint this in. Here we go. That's why I like painting the grass first. That way I can draw the roads just right on top of that. But I don't mind a little bit of orange being on the sides a little bit. I think that's actually not too bad. Okay, and then I can go ahead and just finish in the walls along here. That looks good. Okay, there we go. And then I think what I'll also do is I'll create a road that goes straight to here as well. And then same thing here as well. I'll probably repaint that outside part of the wall. But this is going to help me out here. And then what I'll do from here is I'll create the route that loops around. Oops, I see some of the wall pieces got screwed up there. That's an easy fix. You see how this stuff is missing right here on the right side? No, on the left side there, no big deal. I'll go over to recovery, start recovery, just give it a few moments, and that should all come right back again. There you go. Easy fix, right? Also, I could save and refresh the page. Sometimes you have to do that as well, especially when you've done so many changes. I can go ahead and I'll go ahead and let this auto save, and then I'll refresh the page altogether. Give that a moment. Okay, this looks good. Oh, looks like, I think what might have happened there is that I had an internet timeout. It might have timed out a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just refresh the page. There we go. It's just making me log in automatically all over again. That's okay. No big deal. Folders, open folder, load. Here we go. All right. Yeah, if you ever see like an artifact or anything or something weird like a stamp disappears, anything like that, just run that recovery feature and that will help to fix that right away. Okay. All right. So now that I've built step one through 3, the terrain, I put together the outer wall, and then this centerpiece, which is the garden in Sultan's Palace. I also want to create the main route. And then that way I can kind of build all my districts around that route. So I'll just use that same texture that I used to make the road right here. And I'll just create a route that goes like this. Goes around, goes through here like this, goes through here, connects, and then goes right there like that. Okay? So that's going to be our main route. And in fact, I'll fill it up just a little bit more by making this the brush size just a little bit bigger. There we go. This is the main route. And now what I'll do here is I don't need to make all the other roads yet. You build the blocks first, and then you can decide where all the little streets and stuff will go after that. So now that we've made that main route, think of this as like the main boulevard or route that goes around the whole city itself. Let's go ahead and make all of these pieces. We have the Fountain of Progress. We have the Heroes of the Realm, the Sun Guards barracks. Why don't we go ahead and take care of that? First, I'll go ahead and move all this stuff to the side here like this. There we go. This way I can kind of line everything up here. The Fountain of Progress will be in the center. Hero Realms will be there. Sun Guard. We'll put the Bastillion outpost there. Saul's Armory. Dockyards. And I'll just kind of just move everything where the locations are supposed to be. Let's move the Sun Temple to right about there. We'll go ahead and move the Runeright Camp to right here. And the East Hill or Mill right here. That looks good. Okay. All right. Now that I've kind of got everything where I want it, then I can go on to that next step. Let's go ahead and do the Fountain of Progress first. I'll turn my labels back off. Go back to districts, and I'll just pick a fountain of my choice. Let's use classical. Let's see here. Expand all. Let me just type in fountain, actually. It's okay if we don't use every single stamp from that style. Fountain. I kind of like these ones. These are fun. Make sure I got the scale right. About 60 was the scale I was using. Why don't we use this one right here? Because it's a fountain, I can scale this up because there's no windows or doors or anything that will create some kind of scale inconsistency. So I can change the scale of this stamp without any problems. So I'll just go ahead and place that in the center right there, like that. And then maybe I should place something in the center of that. See, there's a nice little like platform in the center there. So what I could do is maybe put another fountain piece on top of that. Let's take maybe this one right here. We'll bring the scale back down, put that right on top. There we go. That looks good. Let's scale it up a little bit like this. Just like that. That fits on there. Okay, there's our fountain. And then from here, I should also paint in some roads or some kind of painting some kind of path or something that goes around it. Like this. Okay, that looks good. All right. All right, there's the fountain. And there's also this other one called the Heroes of the Realm. So why don't I also maybe put the fountain and the Heroes of the Realm, maybe put them in similar places. So what I could do is just take some statues. And I think what I'll do is I'll just choose the statues from the classical Empire style. So classical. And there should be a whole bunch of statues in here. Why don't we use those? So we'll put one statue right there, and then maybe another statue right here, and then another statue right here, and then another statue. Let's go with this one right here, I think. Let's go with this one right here. There we go. Okay. And putting them right next to the fountain is not a bad place. Go ahead and line these up properly. There we go. There's our heroes. Let me go back to the original real quick and just make sure. It looks like there's 5 heroes total, but I'm going to put 4. So I think that'll be just fine. I'll go ahead and hide that again. All right, that looks good. Okay. All right, I'll come back and address this later. I've only got about 18 minutes left in the stream, so I'm going to go ahead and just get at least one location started, get each location kind of started, and then I'll start adding more to it as we go. So make sure we're at the right scale. 60, this right here is called the Sun District, so I'm going to go ahead and use the right stamps for that. I think I'll use these ones right here. It's called the Sun District, so it's probably a little bit more elite. What I will do is I'll probably bring this down just maybe 10. So these are slightly smaller than the palace. And I just want to make sure that the scale isn't too far off. It is only 10 points off from the 60. As long as you're not going too small like this, 30, you can notice there's a huge difference here. So what I'll do is I'll just keep it down maybe by 10 points, 50. And remember, when I place them in the districts, it will be behind this wall, but in front of this wall. And what we should do is maybe pick some of these Agora pieces. Maybe this one right here looks good. Let's put one right there like that, and then put another one right here like this. That kind of fills up the space there. Notice that this right here won't cover this part of the wall right here. So that's fine. We're just going to place it away from the wall, so that way it's not on top of it. There we go. And we'll get a nice district going right here. Oops, it looks like I placed two of them by accident. There we go. Put that one right there, and then push this one all the way over here like that. Okay, so we have a nice district right there. That looks good. And I'll go ahead and place a bunch of these. Let's go ahead and put one. Let's choose one right here, one right there, another one right there. That looks good. Maybe another one over here somewhere on this side. Maybe right there like that. That looks good. Okay, it's coming together. Okay, and then also, let's see here. There should be some smaller structures that we can use as well. Let's go ahead and maybe put some of, let's see, these ones right here. These are a little bit smaller. Let's go back up to 60, and then maybe I can kind of place these. Well, actually, you know what? I'll fill that in with something else. Let's keep going up here to this part right here. We can add a lot more later. I'm just trying to fill in each section as quickly as possible. Let's also make those slums. And for the slums, I'll go ahead and use these slum houses. These will work just fine. And then notice when I place these here, they're in front of the wall. And when it comes to the slum, what I want to do is I kind of want to place as many as possible, so that way they're kind of crowded a little bit. I want to put emphasis on a crowded section. So I'll place a bunch, and then later when I want, I can go ahead and delete a couple and then create these kind of like little blocks. But first, let's just fill this in with as many as possible just to get it started. Gotta fill this in. This looks good. This looks good. We'll put in a whole bunch. Trying not to put them too close together so they're not unrealistically. Let's go ahead and push this down a layer. There we go. That looks good. Push that down a layer. Make sure these are behind here. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, I think most of the slum here looks good. I'm trying not to make a massive city with a lot of population. I'm kind of making a pretty small city. So I think that looks good. Oopsie, I think this stamp right here overlaps, so we'll go down a layer. This one can go down a layer. There we go. Just want to make sure that my stamps aren't overlapping too much. There we go. Go down another layer. There we go. That looks good. Okay. All right, so those slums look good. Let's go back to my labels. We'll keep looking at the rest of things we want to add. We've got this called the Snake Bite, some kind of building of some kind. We have Bjornmund's Bazaar. Let's go ahead and remove some of these. And then I'll go back to labels. We'll put the bazaar right about here. The Snake Bite will go right about there. City Bazaar. All this will be dockyards. Okay, let's go ahead and choose the right structures that we want for these locations. Let's go to market. Okay, I see there's a Babylonian market that we can put over here. There's also these markets over here. I think this one right here should good. 60% is good. We'll go ahead and place the City Bazaar. The Snake Bite, let's go ahead and use a different one for that. Let's use maybe this market right here. That looks good. And then I'll also put, let me find another structure that will do well for that. Let's go back to classical. And what I'm doing is I just want to put all the locations that are already labeled. We can go back and delete stamps and add other things to it. For now, we're just trying to fill in the space, and then we can come back and change things as need be. Okay, I think I saw another structure that will work just fine. This is a workshop right here. Let's go ahead and put the workshop over here. We'll call that the snake bite, and then we'll put this market right here for that one. We'll make a custom dockyard stamp, like we made a custom stamp for this later, so we'll get to that. For the Emerus Adventuring Guild, let's go ahead and choose a stamp for that. Adventurers Guild, we could put the arena, that's pretty big. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and start down here. Sun Guards Barracks. There should already be some barracks. There's a barrack right here. Let's go ahead and put that one right there like that. And then we'll also put a stable right here as well. Oopsie. I put them in the wrong place too, by the way. I've noticed that, and that's fine. Whenever you do that, if you accidentally place the stamps in the wrong location, see all these stamps right here? I put them in the wrong place. That's okay. Just go ahead and go to Move Layer, move to Districts. Boom, there you go. Easy. So we're going to put that military stuff right here. That's going to make sense. I like that they put the barracks right next to the gate. That makes total sense, right? You want troops to be able to mobilize at the barracks and then move towards here. In fact, I'll kind of make some space right here for troops. We want to create what's called a gathering place for troops. So I'm going to leave some space open at the front of the gate right here. Notice how there's this open space. That's for troops to kind of come together and create a formation. And that way, when they want to defend the city, they can. So I'll definitely move that stuff over to there. There's this Bastillion trading outpost. There's a Saul's Armory. Let's go ahead and hide the labels real quick. I thought I saw a workshop right here. This looks good. I think I'll bring the scale up just a little bit. Put another workshop right here. That should look good. There we go. So now we have a full-on workshop right here. That looks good. And I think there's a trading outpost right here. So let's go ahead and put that there. Let's see what stamp we can use for that. Let's use the arch. I think that'll look good. And I'll just go ahead and place it like right here. That way it's right under the route. That looks good. Let's move it over to here. I want to be able to see this location right here. So I'll move this out of the way. That's the trading outpost. That looks good. Okay. And then also I think there's an Adventurers Guild right here. Oopsie, I moved it over to here. There we go. All right. Okay. I've got to pick a stamp that might look good for that. Let's see here. You know, I think what I'll do is I'll just use this same stamp right here. And I think I'll just put it right here. Like that. And then what else do we have? Bastillion Outpost, got that one done. Fountain of Progress. Cool. The Solus Eternium. Oh, that's a gate. That is a tower of some kind. Let's go ahead and make that. I think the other two locations we have to piece together ourselves. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and create a tower. I'm just going to use these wall stamps to make that. So I'll go ahead and stack these two on top of each other. I'm going to make a tower like this. Let's go ahead and make the bottom part just a little bit bigger. And then I'll also use a dome and put that on top right here like this. There we go. There's my tower. That looks good. Okay, and then I'll also grab a gate. Copy, paste. Put that gate there. That looks good. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and create group. Tower. That looks good. I'll go ahead and place that right there. If I remember correctly, let me go back to the original. Yeah, there's a tower right there. Okay, cool. All right, that looks good. And then I think there's also supposed to be some arches that go across that. So why don't we type in wall real quick? Let's go ahead and use these ones right here. I think this will work fine. In fact, no, let's go ahead and use the ones from Classical Empires instead. Arch. Here we go. Let's use these ones. These don't have shadows, so that'll work out great. Here we go. One there, and one right here. Oop, I notice that this wall is messed up right here. We'll have to fix that real quick. Go back to back wall. Easy fix. Move that down to here. Make sure that's lined up properly. Okay, that looks good. Let's go back to districts. Okay, these are lined up properly. Let's bring the scale up a little bit on this one. There we go. And I'll move that tower a little more to the back. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Just want to make sure that I'm following the original map the best that I can. Okay, that looks good. All right, I think the other location is a dock. I'll go ahead and I think where you are, we're moving along quite quickly. So I think we can just go ahead and try to finish this all in this stream. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and throw in a couple things. A lot of this stuff can be replaced with, or all of this empty space right here can be filled with residential, because that's going to be the most structures that you're going to find. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think I'll use a particular structure or particular stamp for the regular residential. I think these ones right here look good. Looks good. I'll make sure it's set to the right scale. I think I'll set these to 70. That's a 10 above 60, but I think that's okay. Not a big deal. So I'll go ahead and place a couple of these like this, just to kind of fill in some space. I forgot there's a little guild right here as well. I'll have to make that. But first, let's go ahead and just place together all of our buildings. Here, here, here. Just going to go ahead and place them. Don't worry about side roads quite yet. We'll get to that later. Let's just go ahead and place in as many stamps as we can kind of fit in here. Like this. There we go. I'll put some in here. I'm going to be filling in this space. That looks good. Is there a smaller one that I can fit right there like that? I think I can. Let's go ahead and move that. There we go. That looks good. Move that over there. That looks good. Okay. All right. That looks good. And then same thing here. I'll add a couple structures here. That looks good. One right here in the back, probably. Oopsie, that might have to go back a layer. There we go. Okay. All right. And then I'll fill in, I'll add just a couple more buildings in here. Okay, make sure that's all set up right. Does that look good? Make sure that, okay, that looks good. Okay, and then I can go ahead and fill in the rest of these with like a market, because it looks like that is mostly a market district of some kind. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of these market stamps, go back to 60, and I'll go ahead and kind of place these around to kind of create this market. Blue one there, that looks good. All right, that looks good. Set one up there. Let's go ahead and put, let's maybe put a fountain in the center, or maybe places to like sit, maybe. So I'll go ahead and place some seating. Let's put some seats in here. I think that looks good. Okay, that looks good. Some seating there. That looks good. Okay. And then I'll continue adding a little bit more of these buildings here. That looks good. And then there should be some, let's fill in some market spaces over here as well. Just along this here, along here. And I'll put a bunch of market stuff here as well. I think I need to go up a layer. There we go. That looks good. All right, that looks good. Got some market. That looks good. Okay, let's add a little bit more market pieces here. Here, this looks good. All right, it's slowly coming together, filling out. It was just the walls that took up the most amount of time, right? It's usually how it goes. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and create. We're going to go ahead and piece together the dockyard. So I'm just going to go ahead and piece a bunch of these together. I'm going to make a platform. What I want is, because they're airships, the original had airships. Because they have that, I want to create some kind of platform. Let me just go ahead and look at this real quick. Place this here. I think it would look good right there. And then maybe we can also maybe put another one right here like this. And then maybe I can copy paste and set it up to where it looks like this. There we go. Okay, let's move that right about there. That looks good. Okay, and then I can maybe push it up just a little bit more. One more, just like that. And I should be able to select all from the set, create group. Okay, and then I'll put this down a layer. There we go. Down another layer. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is going to be the main platform. And then we'll go ahead and piece together some airship bays and stuff to put it together. Let's go ahead and grab a couple of these, copy, paste, put this up a layer. There we go, copy, paste, another one up a layer, another one. There we go. What about there? Looks good. Actually, I think just 2 is fine. Let's do that. Let's also maybe put in the dock part. So I'll show you how I'll put this together. Let's go ahead and use these ones right here. This looks good. And what I'll do is I'm going to use these pieces right here to create these like slots in which the airships kind of fit in between. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. Put one there, right there. Let's also grab an airship real quick, just so you can get an idea of how I'm putting it together. We'll have to find the right airship to fit. I think that will fit. Go up a layer like this. This one has to go above that one like that. We'll copy and paste this one again. Up a layer like this. This one goes up a layer like this. Oopsie, not that one. This one. There we go. And I'll go ahead and just move these a little bit this way so you can kind of see a little bit better. There we go. That way there's some room. So you have some airship bays there. That works out well. And then we can also maybe throw something on the very top here. Like maybe there's like a dome or something right here. You can put that there. In fact, you know what? I'll do a little bit more decorating there. Just 1 second here. Go back to classical. Here we go. Let's use, I think there's a flat piece we can use. Let me see if I can find that one. Let's use this one right here. This will work fine. There we go. I'm going to set it up just like that. There we go. And then I can put the dome on top of that. And then maybe I could put something in those corners there. Let me see here. I'm trying to add as much detail as I can to this. Why don't we put some... You know, it might not be a bad idea to maybe put some of these right on top. There, there, and there. Oopsie, this one has to go up one. There we go. That looks good. Let's go ahead and also put in some doors as well. Let me see. Did I have the gate in here? Oh, I'll have to go get it from over here. Copy, paste. That looks good. Okay, we'll go and put our door down. Put a door right here. That goes into that building right there. Copy, paste. There we go. Another one goes in that building. That looks good. And just make sure that I got the scale right. That scale looks right. Just want to make sure everything's at the right scale. Okay, so we got that airship port that's coming together. That looks good. Where are we at for time? 4 o'clock. Okay. All right. Looks like I have to fix this a little bit too. I made a mistake right there. There we go. Okay. Well, that airship port is coming together. We'll add more details to that shortly. Let's go ahead and add that other building right here real quick. Ooh, that building right there is overlapping the wall. Okay, let's see. What other buildings could I use for that guild? Let's see. Let's maybe just use this one right here. I think should be fine. It's set to 60, the right scale. Oopsie, didn't mean to do that. There we go. That looks good. Okay. All right. Let's also add some structures in that center part there. Go to fountain. Right, there we go. Let's see here. What fountain should we put in the center here? Let's go with this one right here. We'll flip and rotate it this way, like that. That looks good. I want to line it up. Cool. All right. Let's keep adding stuff. Let's see here. There should be some structures in here that I can add in here. Can I put one right here like that, and then another one Oh, actually, I'm leaving that space open. That's right. That's going to be where military troops come together. Let's go ahead and add a couple more houses. Let's see here. This one right here. Am I set to the right scale? I am. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and place these in here. Oops, undo. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Let's go ahead and create some of the roads that I was talking about so you can see how I do my side roads. Notice that I already have a lot of the stamps already put together. I can go in right here and just kind of paint in where I want the road to be. Road goes there. It looks like there's a little road path that goes right there. Maybe a path that goes around into here like this. Put a little bit of stone wall right there. Maybe put a little bit of path along this edge. Here, a little road in here like this. Maybe even have them connect right here like this. Have them go over to here. Here underneath this one. Let's have the path go from right here and then travel into here like this, and then we'll fill in this whole space. With that, let's also put some road that goes into here. Connects that, connects into here like this. That looks good. Connect into here. Because this is slums, I'm probably not going to add too much of that nice stone there. I'll go ahead and fill in this space as well. That looks good. Let's go ahead and connect that, and that. That looks good. And then I can go in and maybe put a little bit of grass in here like this. All right, there we go. That looks good. All right, yeah, it's coming together. There we go. That way we got a little bit of greenery in the sun district. Right, that looks good. Okay. All right, it's coming together. All right. All right, yeah, that greenery looks quite good. I like that. All right, let's keep adding in a little bit more paths and roads going this way, connecting to this one. Put a little path that goes in the back there. Put a path that goes through here, a road. Excuse me, sorry about that. There we go. Oh, let's create a little path that kind of goes in between here as well. That looks good. And why don't we connect these as well? There we go. That looks good. All right. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and connect these. That looks good. Okay. Why don't we... let's go ahead and connect these together. That looks good. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of grass right here as well. A little bit of grass here as well. And then I will call it good for today, and then we'll finish this probably next month. Okay, coming together rather nicely. Always good to have those green patches. I always find that a little bit of vegetation in your city, especially like gardens, parks, those things are really nice touches. They really, really add quite a bit to your map when you decide to add them. So I definitely recommend adding greenery like this to your map. It looks really, really nice when you put it together. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Got that greenery here. That looks good. Let's put a little bit of patch of green right here like that, and another little patch of green right here like this. There we go. That looks good. Let's do some more patches. One right here. One right here. Go. That looks good. Okay, it's coming together. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and paint. Where are we at? Okay, I'll keep going for just a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and paint that darker kind of brown texture underneath here like this. There we go, just to kind of emphasize that slum. There we go. Put a little bit of brown in here. There we go. That should help to kind of emphasize the more slum-like region here. That looks good. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and call it good. All right.